You just got cooked by Adi Crooks. There's a beat to it. I don't know what it is, though.
I forget.
We'll
play
listen
it
to it later.
We'll play it later.
All right. We're recording on a normal day.
Yes. But we're not going to mention any kind of timeline.
Couldn't tell you. It's the week.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just the week. We had Peachy Platinum came out yesterday. Looks nice. Very irregular on the hits.
Yes. The 3 boxes that we know what was in them, one had 1 auto, another had 2 autos, and another had 3 autos.
Yeah, so I think they only mentioned 1 on the box, right?
I don't even know if they mentioned 1 on the box.
Well, there's an average of 2. Based off of our very large sample size of 3 that were ripped physically in the store. Yeah, it looks good, like always.
Yeah, looks nice. It's just... I think chrome-based hockey products don't get enough love.
I think Allure is vastly undervalued, too.
Yes.
I think it's going to, though. I'm noticing a shift already on some of the secondary market stuff. On the top 5 guys. Not the entire league, but I'm noticing, like, Crosby stuff's insane. Even, like, I was bidding on an Allure 1 of 1 in the Fanatics Collect auction, and it had just been bought, like, 3 or 4 weeks ago for $1,900, and it sold for, like, over $3K, maybe closer to $4K. So,
well, we were both surprised when we looked up that yellow taxi PSA 10 Sid.
Yeah, it was like a $600 card or something. I think that the bigger issue with the hockey market is the traditionalist collectors. The hockey collectors are like, especially like the Canadian ones, like they're very, I think the new hockey people are the ones spending money. I think people stepping in the last few years are the ones that are actually buying these like limited logos for, like I just saw a Joe Sakic or Forsberg sell for like $2,500 and it was like an out of 10 cup limited logo. So I think new money, not new money as far as collecting money, new money in the hockey market, it's shifting in, but we're still not seeing the entire tide raised because the traditional hockey collectors are the ones that buy like the not premier level rookies.
Yeah. We want boring regular rookies.
Yeah, so like the top 1% of hockey is exploding at astronomical levels. But I think a lot of the meat, the lower to mid-level rookies, we're not seeing any shift from what they were 10 years ago, but we're seeing the box prices higher. The entire market cap of hockey is going up, but not in the ways that most collectors are seeing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, I think we're early. I think hockey's going to explode over the next 5 years. If you look at price comparisons, though, to like other sports, it is still so drastically cheaper that I think what happened is that it was stagnant for so long that the uptick in it is tough to palate right now. But I do think that prices are going to stabilize where they're kind of at and not go up again for a while. But I think that the market has to catch up. And I think it's going to. I just think that these people who are stepping into the hockey market, like, I'm not going to name names, but I know a few people who have been buying some hockey stuff.
Phil.
Yeah, Phil. They aren't actually, like, watching hockey. So, like, they know Crosby, McDavid, Ovechkin, Lemieux, Gretzky. That's why you're seeing only those names go up. Like, you're not seeing Nick Lindstrom, the market, go up. But I bet you're seeing Nick Lindstrom limited logos and other super rare stuff, like 5, 10x. Yeah. So it will happen.
Very rare game use stuff is just increasing across the board, regardless of sport.
And I think there will be a not Reagan trickle down, but I think like actual trickle down is going to happen with hockey, and like we will get some more people starting to prospect hockey. The problem is the baseball market, football market, basketball market, huge prospects. Like they really every year go after them. Hockey, it's like they've had the young guns. They haven't really done anything with it. I think we're going to start seeing that translate into an OPG Platinum, or I think we'll even see people probably starting to like stack like regular OPG PSA 10 rookies as like a comparison to like a cheaper
like a
alternative.
Rookie.
Yeah, like I think we're going to see it. It's just that the box prices for hockey have accelerated faster than the overall market of hockey has. But I think box price, from what I'm seeing, we had a drastic increase from like 22 to 26. But I don't think 26 to 28 is going to jump again. I think we're going to be stabilized and the market's going to catch up to the box price.
All because of that heated rivalry show with the gay hockey players.
I haven't. What was that on?
I forget.
I know you talked about it.
I mean, also the Olympics, but I think the other is.
In like a hockey collectors have been used to coming in, buying 4 or 5 boxes for $500. The hockey market, other than the Cup and Black Diamond and Premier, the hockey market hasn't been used to buying $200 and $300 boxes, and I think that the value will eventually translate. It's just early. That doesn't help pocketbooks or anything, but I do think that it doesn't help you at the register. Knowing why it is. I just
don't know the last time I saw anybody with a pocketbook.
I don't know, but we did see a guy. I don't know if you saw him, but there was a guy in the shop maybe 2 weeks ago. His wallet made my back hurt. It was it's like the Costanza wallet. Have you seen the episode of Seinfeld? Yeah. There had to have been 200 receipts in this thing, and I even asked the guy, I'm like, "You don't put that in your back pocket, do you?" He's like, he looked at me like I was crazy, and he's like, "No, it's in my front pocket." I'm like, "Well, okay, sorry, fuck me, man." Like, so a lot of people do tend to put a wallet in their back pocket, and then we have learned it does actually affect your spine. Yeah. But this dude's wallet, if he was sitting in his car, his right side would be like 6 inches taller than his left.
If he threw it at one of our windows,
it would shatter.
It would shatter.
Yeah, it would shatter. The shatterproof film that we have would collect it, but he would cause us to. It would explode. This guy's wallet actually could break into the store. Hammer, no. This dude's wallet, yes. Yeah, I Peachy Platinum. It looked good. Like I said, I like the product. I think that the only pushback will be price, but I don't think if you look at all the older Peachy Platinum stuff though, like those box prices are up. Most people's collections are up right now in hockey. Like if you've been buying hockey for 5 to 10 years, a lot of these cards that you've had on hand for a while have also increased drastically. I know that I'm almost priced out of buying many more like new SIDs just because the SID market's so high. So I know that people are holding cards that are definitely up. Looking at calendar.
Yes.
Okay. Because I have a couple other ones right
now.
Because
this week is also UFC Midnight, which Midnight's always a gorgeous product.
What are your thoughts?
Kind of, it's a roll of the dice.
I actually have kind of an issue with Midnight.
Why?
I think it's overexposed. I think like Midnight, the first time they did it was really cool, and now like I think since we are getting it consistently through multiple different sports, we're gonna have it in. They didn't do baseball, right?
No.
They did football, UFC,
basketball.
I think they're probably gonna do WWE. I don't know. I think the thing that made Midnight special on the front end of it, like of it being a product, was that like it was fresh and new, and I think it's kind of similar to like an Inception. Like I don't know that it's basically just a like
maybe go every other year where one year you get Inception, 1 year you get Midnight.
Or I know you've heard me talk about this with multiple products. Like maybe Midnight's an insert. Like maybe like it doesn't need to be its own product line. I like the cards. I just think that maybe there's a little fatigue on there being a Midnight for everything.
Well, there's a Midnight every day, Chad.
If you're awake.
No, it still happens if you're asleep.
I don't know. Like I said, I think that if you want to do 4 to 6 UFC releases a year, whatever the number is, I would actually like to see something different. Because you're going to do Chrome, you're going to do Finest, you're going to do Royalty. What else have they done? Chrome, Finest, Royalty.
They need to do a flagship.
I want flagship.
They did Stadium Club.
Yeah, which I don't know that I would do it. It doesn't perform well for us. We don't do that well. We do really bad financially on it actually because we get stuck with product. But I don't know that Stadium Club would be like the mid-level product I would do for it. Like you said, they need to do a flagship. They need to do a flagship WWE. That's the only way you truly get entry level collectors. You need to do like similar to Series 1 and Series 2, 7 packs, 14 cards per pack for a blaster for $25. Actually expose it. Because even like the Stadium Club blasters, what did they have? Like 6 cards per pack, 6 packs, 36 cards. It's not like a lot for the money.
No.
Especially if you're getting entry level people in who like just want to appreciate the cards, the photos, the fighters. Not like they're not like big collectors yet.
Can I interest you in the opposite of Midnight? A product called High Noon.
Is it Western based or vodka canned drink based?
Yes.
We're gonna catch you at High Noon.
It's we'll go Western.
Okay.
No, Western vodka.
Western vodka.
So
Okay.
vodka and sarsaparilla.
That's root beer, right?
I think
Sarsaparilla
so.
is root beer.
I think it is.
I think it's like whatever like the natural root is a sarsaparilla root.
Which, if I'm mixing something with sarsaparilla, it's gonna be whiskey probably.
Be good. But yeah, I want to see more UFC product, but I don't know that a 1-pack thing is the play, considering you do breakers for Finest and Chrome. So I don't know. I'm trying to rack my brain on like what I would want to see.
Rack that back.
Yeah, I don't know what a product that I would want to see is. I'd like to see Heritage WWE again. So like maybe you do a Heritage UFC,
Yeah.
nice on card real one autographs, like matte relic cards. I think that would be fun.
Would you have to include cards of Kimbo Slice? It is the heritage of MMA.
If they could get the licensing from his family to have Kimbo, I would love to see Kimbo. I think Kimbo had some cards. I can't remember because I mean he did have that stint. Was it like 2010 to 12 maybe he was fighting? I mean, he fought for like 15 years backyard before UFC, but I think he did like a 2-year run with them. I can't remember. I don't think he was very good in actual professional fighting.
He was not.
Backyard.
He was the opposite of Brock Lesnar.
I remember like probably middle school when we like found like this backyard fights, and I remember he punched a dude in his eye and his eye fell out of his head, and it was dangling there because he had like shattered all the orbital, and it was just like attached to the socket. Yeah, I remember watching that. It wasn't good. It was pretty horrifying.
If that happened to me,
You just give up, right?
no, one of my cats would probably be like, "Oh, let me play with that."
Tap at it. But yeah, then we have obviously this week we have Pokey,
Chaos Rising.
which we were talking about it this morning over our morning coffee.
Kofifi.
And I think that this set is going to be overly hyped because there was the collector base that was disappointed with the last one. But like you mentioned, I think last week that it isn't like that crazy good of a set. There are like for collectors. I'm just talking the collector base, not playing. You're like it's good, it's okay, but it's not great. But I think since people were so disappointed with the last one, that they're gonna magnify this one bigger than it needs to be.
Yeah. I think Perfect Order is a better set than this one. Collectability and playability. But this one's going to have... The Greninja for it is going to go crazy. Whereas, okay, the Meowth is still pricey for... Never, dude, no. The Meowth isn't, like, insane. I think we're going to see, like, a big chase card again with the Greninja.
What do you think? What was the biggest change? Because it was the Starmie and the
Starmie, Meowth,
and what was
Rose's Encouragement.
People who are listening who don't listen to Pokey, what was like the top end market of those?
Probably at release like $250.
Okay,
for
so
like one of the best cards.
So will the Greninja be like a $500 card?
Yes.
Okay, and stay there, or will it settle?
I think it'll settle to like $350 ish.
Okay, so I mean it does have a higher chase, but then there's no meat after the Greninja.
Correct.
Okay. There's no sexy legs. Is there any like fun?
Nothing too crazy.
Any
There
big
is a
trainer?
character with very long legs. I forget his name though.
Are there ever like we look at like the 2017 to 2019 stuff a lot that have like a lot of big trainer cards. Are any of these newer sets putting out trainers that are like super collectible?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Perfect Order had Rose's Encouragement. That's the one where she's eating like the Pikachu ice cream.
And how much is that card?
That is currently like $80 or so.
Okay.
But for that to be $80 this far after that set came out, and for a set that people allegedly don't like,
it's pretty good.
But they still buy, is pretty good.
Yeah, we because I know like we have people trade in trainers and stuff all the time, and there's like so many trainers that are like $2 to $5 that I guess they just put a lot in there that I because a lot of those older ones are all expensive.
Yeah, no, the female trainers.
Oh,
like you can get some of the male trainers from the Sun and Moon era that are like $5 to $10, whereas like the same rarity of a female trainer from that set goes for $200 to $300.
Okay, that makes sense. Bunch of pervs. Not really a new release, but we are restocking. If you're listening to this, it should be stocked by now. Topps Chrome Football Blasters and
Bowman
Baseball Blasters, which we've been hounded for like the last 2 days.
Which Bowman Baseball Blasters are every year a great value.
Yeah. So I want to talk. There's no other products.
Nope.
Okay. So pretty light week, honestly. I do know that we're down the final stretch of like Series 2 will be coming out soon, and I think there might be one other like pretty substantial set that will be coming out in the near future.
Series 2, I'll have to break some just because I'll be chasing. There's 3 different Japanese players who have their first Topps rookie in the set, and then there's another rookie that is going to from the area who is in the set. I'll have to get a foil version of that for my people that have been in the shop.
Do you want to talk about some of these new collections you started? Because you had a kind of like a minor epiphany recently where you're like, I still want to collect. I want to be involved. I'm very cognizant that I can't afford to collect the way I previously wanted to. So you've pivoted your collecting style.
Yes.
You can talk on that a little bit.
So like previously with Japanese baseball players, I had the goal of getting one autograph of each Japanese player that played in the MLB. It was not cost effective. So I just let it simmer for a while, and recently just kind of had the idea, okay, I'm just going to go after the first Topps card of every Japanese and Korean player that has made it to Major League Baseball.
Not counting Topps now, right? This is like first pack
Correct.
pulled Topps card. Okay,
Correct.
because they probably all, like, whenever a guy debuts, like Murakami, he probably had a Topps Now card
Yes.
first. So you want the first pack pulled Topps card of anyone who... Is this every Japanese player?
That has made it to... That
Actual
has debuted
MLB.
in the MLB.
And you want it to be like this, their standard Topps card.
Yeah. Which finding a list was a little bit problematic at first, because every list that I came up with, like in my head, I was thinking, okay, I want Japanese born players that have played in the MLB. Show me them. Well, like a 10% of the list.
BBMs.
No, it was random white guys that were born
In
like
Japan.
in Okinawa.
Is it Lars Newbar? Or is he actually
base.
a percentage Japanese?
No, Newbar is technically American, but he's half Japanese.
Okay, so he actually is half Japanese.
Yes.
But yeah, okay, so there were a bunch of dudes who, like, parents were stationed over for, like, military, who were born in Japan, who ended up becoming MLB players, but they have no Japanese nationality at all.
Correct.
Okay. That's interesting. Is there like a significant list? Is there like a bunch of them?
No, it's not significant.
Okay.
But like
List starts,
the
Don
second
Mossy.
one, no, if you sort by when they debuted, first one of course is Masanori Murakami. But then Hideo Nomo's fifth. In between that, you have Bobby Fenwick, Steve Chitrin, and Jim Bowie.
You mean they're not Japanese guys?
No.
What's his name? Chitwick?
Steve Chitrin and Bobby Fenwick.
Oh, Bobby Fenwick.
So then after I add those to my collection, I have a spreadsheet that'll tell me like how complete I am on getting one of each. I'll update it as more players debut.
How many are there? Like 100?
Now for Japanese, I think it is 76.
Because it's only Topps cards. Like if they didn't get a Topps card, like there might be guys who played. And
I will get guys like if they don't have a regular Topps card, I'll get something else.
Now coming to like Otani, will you settle for like an opening day rookie? You want a regular Topps rookie?
Yes.
Okay.
Got to go update.
So, and that's obviously a couple $100 card. So
that is one of the more expensive ones. I know that Ichiro is not like cheap.
Which honestly, like those are you can know Ichiro's not crazy. What about $20, $25 for his Topps rookie?
But yeah, there's 76 for Japanese players and 30 for Korean.
Which okay, so you're doing all Asian-born players?
No, just Japanese and Korean.
Okay, because I know that Nate will then now like have a challenge where he does have some stuff that Nate sold off most of his previous like PC and stuff that wasn't like DRC and a couple other things, but you may end up having a few things you take to the national to try to like maybe trade or sell to flip into like an Otani PSA 8.
Well, I'm not doing nothing graded.
Well, I'm thinking you might save money if you buy like a PSA 7
crack it.
or a 7 because you know it's not significant damage. A 7 might sell for 140 and a raw might be 180 or something. So you might be able to save some dollars, or you find like a tag 8 and you're like, oh yeah, that's my bread and butter. I want to buy that one.
Just I like smaller PCs that aren't expensive that I get to dig through bargain boxes.
Like Reese's PCs?
Yes.
Okay.
Creasy's PCs. That's what I call dingleberries.
I don't like that.
That's what makes it even better.
Okay.
But yeah, just having a smaller PC to go after and chase.
And it's one that builds too, because I mean, there's like, I feel like like when we were growing up, it was like Nomo was like it was a huge deal. In the Kazashi Ishii.
Yeah.
But like I feel like every year there's a couple Japanese guys that are
like so far this year you have Munetaka Murakami, you have
the Blue Jays guy,
Kazuma Okamoto, and I forget his first name, but Amai, the pitcher for the Astros. Imai.
I can only do that in
George Takai.
Yeah. Oh my. That it's an attainable goal because it's not like you run into the same thing I do where you obsess over things and like I do with Gunther and all my other PCs. That's why I really have to rein it in and like stop collecting stuff because I struggle to not obsess. And it's like, oh, I'm doing this thing now. Guess what is getting all of my attention, all of my money, and I'm going to ignore other things now. It's not healthy. That's why I've had to cut out like quite a few things, and I've sold off quite a bit of like my quote-unquote PC. Other than Kerry Colbert, Sidney Crosby, Gunther, I'm probably going to be selling off...
Sidney Lauper.
Yeah. I'm probably going to be selling off most of my LA Knight collection. Not because I don't like the cards anymore, but financially, I need to sell those to pay for other things I know that I'm going to have to buy.
Have to.
Yes, like that's how my brain works.
Have to buy.
That's how my brain works. But yours is very sustainable. And we talk about sustainability a lot with collecting. And it's like, if you are new to the shop, it's not that we don't want you to spend. It's not like clearly I want you to spend money in the store. But like when we see someone who's new to the hobby and they drop like first time in $800, come in 2 days later, drop another $1,000. A week later, drop $1,500. We're like, this isn't like a sustainable thing.
We know that
there's burnout.
They're gone.
Yeah, there's burnout, and then they're not in the hobby anymore. I would rather you spend in budget and be like, I'm gonna spend $50. Yeah, $50, or like you say, like, all right, I got $500 a month that like maybe I have I got a raise, maybe I don't have kids, maybe I have just like liquid income where I can $500 is sustainable. But yeah, like, well, guys spend $3-4 grand in like a week and a half, and we're like, all right, we're never gonna see you again. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
And I would rather you spend that $200 a week than spend $2,000 one time, because I want you to enjoy the hobby. And if you're spending all this money, you're eventually gonna have the high is gonna wear off, and you're going to have the realization, be like, oh, I'm buying too many things. I needed to stop completely, and I think that's not the right play.
And also a lot of times, we hear the my old lady told me to stop spending money.
But-
Which, sidebar, why does my old lady mean your wife or significant other, but my old man means your dad?
I don't know. We've had this conversation before, and I can't remember what environment, but I don't know.
It's one of life's great mysteries.
It's probably some blue collar thing, guys at the bar, but it doesn't make sense. Maybe they were drunk, and that's why it doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
If you know why, it's your old man is your dad and your old lady is your wife, shoot us a message.
Yeah.
If you're a teacher and you're smarter than us.
Maybe it's an old Chinese proverb.
Yep. That's probably accurate, honestly.
Who knows?
But yeah, so like sustainability in collecting is a thing. I'm happy Nate has found a new collection. He also has another collection that the store is benefiting him on, and it's just kind of like weird stuff. Like we've had a thing going for like, I don't know, since Nate moved here. Anytime I'm processing a vintage collection, I'll just send him random pictures, and it's always like,
guess how old this guy is.
yeah, guess how old this dude is. And Nate's like, I don't know. Clearly he's 49 years old. And you're like, he's 23.
Yeah.
He works in a coal mine in the off season. Specifically 50s, 60s football is the most egregious because those dudes made no money.
Yeah, we had one that guy was 25.
Oh my God.
And he looks like current Ed Harris.
Yeah, he's got generations of people beneath him. He's got great-grandchildren, this
Yes.
man in this picture. And he's 25 years old. And he's 25... We don't know exactly, like, we don't always calculate, like, the exact date. But, like, especially, like, Philadelphia football from the 60s, they'll say age 23, age 25. And almost none of them look good for the age. But some are egregiously bad. We're like,
Yes.
This dude has had decades of hardship. And you're like, oh, he's fresh out of college. It's just that he's also a laborer in
Some
addition
people
to...
are just born old. There was a kid in the shop the other week, probably 10, 11 years old. He comes in and he tells his mom, he's like, wow, look at all these boxes. This is right up my alley.
You're like,
And I was like, buddy, do you have a mortgage due?
do you think he sees younger kids at school be like, look at you, you little whippersnapper?
I remember when I was your age.
Before I had knee pain, I was all about recess. Yeah, some people are old souls.
Yeah.
We had a kid in on Tuesday that Nate thought was possessed like a doll.
Oh, he looked like yeah.
It was nothing. Fine little gentleman.
Yes.
But
Very dark irises.
Yeah,
So
he-
it just
he-
looked like
demon eyes.
soulless
Yeah.
demon eyes.
Yeah, it was. I got a close. It was. He had very dark brown irises, and I'm like, they does just look like there's just pupil. It's something from the Supernatural show where like the kid is a possessed doll from the 1500s.
I smell sulfur.
Yeah. But yeah, so collectability is back to the original thing. Find what you can sustain. Do that. I'm dying. No, I'm currently on a unsustainable path in a sense that I'm trying to rework. And I am. What's the word I'm looking for? I've benefited off of some market gains in cards that I'm into really well, that I just have to get to the point of like parting with them. I need to like write them a letter and be like, I don't hate you anymore. I don't hate you, but I need to move you to someone else. I think the first one's gonna be the LA Knight collection because I don't know. I'm not really. I don't care as much. So I'm gonna keep gifts and some of the best stuff, but I'm gonna be moving off a lot of like the mid-level stuff because it can raise some funds that I could use. But yeah, on to we had a really good buy. We did that Conway show last weekend, and I really liked the venue. It was in like a fire hall, fit maybe 50 to 60 tables. It was very clean. The aisles were nice. It was not incredibly well attended. It was the first time they did it.
That's probably why it was so clean.
Yeah, it was off the beaten path. And there was also the 2 competing Monroeville shows. So I didn't have the crazy upside on it, but every time we go into doing these smaller shows, our main goal is not to sell product. It's exposure for the shop, meet some local collectors who don't know about us, and buy cards. So I was able to buy a bunch of stuff again. It made it worth it for us. We bought a few really nice things. Bought a 53 Mantle that's nice. We bought a Jim Brown rookie. We
can also start signing autographs at the shows now that we've been on TV.
Yeah, I know. We're super famous now. You guys now know the... we didn't talk about the news.
No.
Yeah, so I guess we can roll into that. We have a commercial.
Yes, on Sportsnet Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so we're advertising in all the remaining Pirates games. I don't know that we have in-game for every single game, but we have pre-game, in-game, and post-game slots that they are going to like insert as they can. I know that last night and the night before, which I'm not going to say the exact dates because that's irrelevant, but
good.
Multiple games this week. We had a pre-game, like the last commercial spot before the game started, and then early into the game, which I think Tyler said...
after the first inning.
Yeah, both of them were early. So it's kind of nice, though, because people do tune out of games. Like, if it's a blowout, you're not watching the whole game. Usually, you might watch, like, the first 4 or 5 innings or something. So, but then we also learned that on the Sportsnet app, if you watch your Pirates and Penguins games on the app, it's playing like every commercial break, which is it's cool. I mean, because we're spending financially, this is probably one of our biggest expenses ever that wasn't product based or like actual like operations based, like
putting in
payroll, payroll and construction and like our actual like renovations. So it's a lot of money. It's an uncomfortable amount of money that we are we are putting towards this, considering we've never really spent money on advertising before. We've done the occasional social media post that we've paid like extra money to get eyeballs on it, and I know when we were on really hard times, like housing crisis era, like 2007, 2008, my dad
milk cartons.
No, he sponsored a wing eating contest that was hosted by Mark Madden.
Nice.
I don't know that we got one person that even knew about it. But yeah, my dad did a wing eating contest sponsorship, which it wasn't a lot of money. I think it was like a couple $100. And then I wish I could go into the logs and find this. I don't know if it was QVC or Home Shopping Network, but there is video somewhere of my dad in a Santa hat around Christmas time promoting items that are in the store for sale. It was around the same time. It was like 05 to 08, somewhere in there. There's a video of him somewhere doing like his best sales pitch on like a Home Shopping Network type thing. And I remember seeing it at the time, and he probably has like a DVD or VHS copy of this. I want it real bad.
Yeah.
If you could get this for me, I might pay $1,000 for it. Legitimately. He probably spent a couple $100 to do it. I would pay $1,000 if you present me with the video evidence of this thing. I don't know how to find it. I've tried to Google search. I've tried everything. It's not like it's on a public thing. Whoever he did it with probably has it in an archive, and it's just like on a server that like isn't being used. But if you find this, I'll give you $1,000. But no, so like we did this commercial. Hannah Mears does the voiceover. It's good. It's
just photos of the shop, all the different things we have.
And the biggest hurdle with that type of advertising is the amount of time you have.
Yeah.
We only have 15 seconds. It's kind of hard to get like what is the core value of the shop, which we kind of put as like, we're like a friendly store. What we sell, that's kind of it. So we wanted to put buying on it, but we're like, there's no way we'll be able to convey what... Did I say convey? Convey. There's no way we will be able to convey what we buy in a time that makes sense. Because if we just say, we're buying, we know that like the next day, people are going to be rolling up with like a bunch of this junk era like singles that we don't want. And then I don't want that because then we're disappointing people. So... if you see the spot live, take a picture of it, share it, tag us. We'd love to know, like, because we're also trying to figure out, like, if different media suppliers feed it in a different way. Like, is the live on Sportsnet via
DirecTV,
Comcast, are they different? Are they coming in at different times? I don't know. Because I know that, like, some of these bigger network suppliers, they may have some, they may force in, like, national, because I know, like, when you see, like, the Super Bowl, we all see different regional commercials.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know
like,
how it works.
Tyler said he saw one last night, and he was watching from home. Meanwhile, I was out at Perrytown Tap House, and they had the game on, and at that same time, we had nothing.
Yeah, so I if you do see it, let us know what you think. Like I said, if you got your phone out, take a picture of it and tag us, because I'd love to know, like, when it actually is going live, because they're not, like, messaging me like a minute before and like, hey, it's coming on in a minute. Here's the countdown clock. It's more like your ad will be played when there are slots for it. But yeah, that was the big news. Where it might not seem like big news if you're just, like, sitting at home like, yeah, they got a commercial, who cares? It's like, what goes into this stuff is way more than people know. It was like a multi-week process getting this, and the financials of it are pretty crazy. I can't even imagine what it costs to advertise. Like, I have a better appreciation for it now. Like, advertise on, like, a big network is probably astronomical.
So what you're saying is we should look into one of those local Super Bowl spots.
Dude, it's probably insane. I know the national level ones are like, what, $15 million for a 30-second spot. It would crash our website. And also, I think that even the regional ones are probably like 7 figures. They have to be like $1 million.
We'll look into it.
Okay. We will look into it.
We will look into it.
But yeah, so that it's cool. I think that it's forever there, or it's a forever green video. Like, we didn't do some weird, like, time sensitive thing on our. It's an evergreen commercial. It's not going to ever be like.
We didn't do the Harlem Shake.
We're not promoting a specific event like come for trade night. It's just a very clean cut. This is our store. Here's what we sell. They're things that we're always gonna be selling. So that part was kind of strategic, and, like, because we don't even say, like, we say Pokemon. We're always, like, we didn't even say One Piece, because, like, who knows, like, maybe, like, the One Piece market shifts or something. We didn't even say TCG. We just said Pokemon, because that's like I said, I'm gonna say it again. It's evergreen. Like, it's Pokemon's around forever. It's here. So we don't have to worry about 2 years from now. Like, we can't use this ad anymore because they're like, what are you talking about? Like, what is Lorcana? Like, oh, back in our day, that was
Reign of Jafar.
Yeah, that was a TCG. So that was that's cool. We got trade night coming up May 30th, 4 to 7 p.m.
That is a Saturday.
We're gonna double down again and let you know we do not want any setups, and we do not want you bringing sealed product. I'm okay with you buying, selling, trading with anyone on singles. I do not want anyone rolling up with a bin of blasters and megas and stuff that they scalped from Target and Walmart. I would approach it as friendly as I could, but I would be. Nate might not. I would be very kind. I'd be pretty frustrated if we saw that. I don't want that. We are going to be obviously selling product. Clearly, not everyone can have all the same singles, but we will probably, whatever sealed product you would be bringing, we probably have it. So no sealed product. That's all we'll touch, because we'll touch trade net again before it happens. This Saturday, the 23rd? Yeah, 23rd. 1 week before trade night. This Saturday, we are doing a buying event. We are going to have a team of 2 young whippersnappers.
Our junior buying associates.
Our junior buying associates, thing 1 and thing 2. If you're listening, we're excited. They are going to be at the bar from 10 to 6 buying deals. So if you have, I'm going to emphasize the quality card thing. We do not want a Mark Ingram patch card that is worth $12. We won't decline it if it's in a large group, but we put on the post $10 plus because we don't want like base cards and stuff. But it is not anything. We had someone call yesterday like, so you're buying anything that's worth at least $10, and I'm like, no, I do not want a John Olerud PSA 9 rookie. Once again, if it's in a larger scope of a deal, sure. But we do not want to just buy all of your worst $10 cards.
What do we want to buy?
We want to buy quality superstars, Hall of Famers, high-end slabs. There is really no limit. If you
established superstars.
Established, yes.
So like Cam Ward is kind of we don't trust the young quarterbacks as much, at least on higher end stuff.
Yeah, like I said, if it's part of a larger deal, it can probably get. We'll try to figure something out. But for the most part, we're looking for vintage slabs, Pokemon slabs, superstar level guys, your Josh Allens, Patrick Mahomes, Brady, those kind of guys. Obviously looking for like LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, Crosby, Gretzky, McDavid, all those.
Scalabrine.
Yes. Brian Scalabrine, 100%. Bring us all the Scals. No one calls him Scal.
No.
All right. Well, I do. But I don't know why I had a short form. We're not on like a crunch time thing. So yeah, if you want to sell some stuff, bring it out. People are asking buying rates. I've been telling people anywhere between 65 and 85. If it is lower liquidity or like just very generic stuff, we're paying less aggressive on it. If you bring us a Jordan rookie, we're probably paying over 85%. So I'm just telling people 65 to 85, expect closer to 70 to 80, with exceptions on both ends of those. Like Nate was saying, we don't really, like the young rookies, we'll still buy their stuff, but it's not like we're going to overpay to bring in like base tops, like Cam Ward refractor rookies. Like if they're worth $10, cool, like we'll still take them, but we're not like giving you 85% on Cam Ward refractor rookies.
Yeah.
And then Pokemon, it's just going to be slabs for this weekend because the two, I'm going to say the two boys, it's hilarious because like they are children to me because they're like 21. They are adult people. But in my head, they're young boys. They're 21.
Yeah. One's been coming into the shop
since he was like
10, a wee boy,
8 or 10 years old. So like we've known these kids for a while. I'm literally only going to call them kids because they are in my head. I was talking to one of our customers.
Hey, champ. I
was talking to a customer last night, and he's like, we're getting old. When like a 20-year-old like is a kid, but they are. But they're very educated on the market. They know what they're doing. If there are any disagreements on valuation or something, I guarantee they'll bring me in and ask my opinion on it. But I trust them to be able to confidently get you numbers on this stuff. We will be paying cash for that. I know some people said, is there a different cash versus store credit thing? Just for efficiency purposes, I'm just having them pay you out. And you can buy stuff in the store with the cash, but I'm not doing two different numbers. Like, we're at 75% cash, 80% store credit. They're just going to give you our best offer that day. We're hoping it goes well, and this will be like a once or twice a month thing because people do get disappointed that we don't buy on Saturdays typically. But it's because we don't have the man power, woman power, boy power to to facilitate all this.
We're not violating any child labor laws.
Rocket power.
Woogity, 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 woogity.
But yeah, if you have stuff to sell, bring it out. Based off the amount of shares on the Instagram post already, I think they might get bombarded early, and I may be buying with them and have 3 of us. But
can you guys buy my old toaster?
Our old toaster.
What about my cat?
Yeah, it's not the GameStop. We're buying anything at all, and people are bringing like an old sheet pan that still has like burnt cookies on it. That was such a weird marketing ploy that they did. I wonder how much stuff they actually bought.
What about this turnip? Is that good for you? Do you like that?
Shout out John Mulaney if you're listening. Trade night buying. Oh, okay. So this is one that I wanted to bring up.
Is this the one that I don't know about?
I don't know if you don't know about it.
Okay.
Do you know Ludwig Kaiser was arrested
yes,
yesterday?
I saw that.
So Ludwig Kaiser, who's been missing for like over a year. He hasn't been in WWE for over a year. All of a sudden, he turns up.
Gets arrested in
Florida because he had it wasn't like a felony charge or anything. It was a misdemeanor battery charge against a man in his 70s at a bar. And people were like, Did he finally fight Ric Flair at a bar? Because Ric Flair hates Ludwig. He's publicly said he's like a loser and all this stuff. Because whenever him and Tiffany were dating,
Yeah.
she made a dig, or Charlotte made a dig at Tiffany that Ludwig was in her DMs, and everyone's like, "What the hell was that about?" That was a total shoot. That like, is it real? Is it not? Ludwig and Tiffany broke up shortly after that. So, people were joking like, "Did he fight Ric Flair?" But yeah, it was like $1,000 bond battery charge. But people were like, is he going to be suspended? Like, there's plenty of people in wrestling that have had far worse things go on. But like, what still gets you arrested but isn't that big of a charge where it's like a misdemeanor $1,000 bond? Like a shove?
Probably like one of those things where the cops show up and they hear the story and they're like, all right, I get it. We have to do something, but I get it.
Yeah, like I want to know what was like, because he's like a professional athlete. Like if you're listening and you're like, who the hell is Ludwig Kaiser? He's one of the most sculpted physically wrestlers out there. Like you're not gonna start a fight with the dude, but like something had to have been said to like maybe he was with like a friend group or something, and like maybe the guy at the bar like said something to like a female he was with or something. I don't know.
I saw somebody say, and at this point I don't even know if it was joking, but they were saying that the old man just kept yelling "woo."
I saw that, and I think that was playing into the Ric Flair being a drunk in Florida and finally saying something to him. I hope it was Ric Flair. If it was, it wouldn't have ended with a misdemeanor. Ric Flair would have fought him.
Yeah. And
it would have turned into like a full brawl. And honestly, I'm there for it because then they could settle it in the ring and you have a match of Ludwig versus 78-year-old Ric Flair. That'd be great. I hope that it was actually something like that where like the dude was trolling him over Ric Flair.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I don't know how many like 78-year-old guys like on Twitter while looking at like Ric Flair's tweets where he capitalizes every first letter of every word. But yeah, I didn't know if you had seen it, and I didn't send it to you on purpose because I'm like, I need to ask Nate on the podcast if he's seen. If you don't, Nate likes Ludwig Kaiser. He's one of the wrestlers he used to collect and stuff. So I just had to see if he saw that. Talking about wrestling, I did pick up. I think I mentioned it last week that I bought a card. I bought the. I don't know how to pronounce the word.
I think it's Papardasha.
Papardasha. The 1-of-1 Gunther Papardasha that now matches
the pink cracked ice.
Yeah, the pink sapphire 1-of-1 autograph with the German inscription for the mat is sacred. I don't know how to pronounce. It's like dire. I'm not gonna try. I'm not a German. Dire.
You already did try.
Yeah, I tried. So it is the other 1-of-1 from Topps Chrome. I have the Superfractor autograph already inscribed Ring General. So the two are home. I will eventually post them. I've been holding off for a while just because I try not to post too much PC stuff. The other big pickup recently I did post yesterday, and it was a ticket stub from 1998 King of the Ring, which I was in attendance for it. I'm sure I got the ticket as a kid and just it either got thrown away or it's like in some photo album or something like in my childhood room still that I need to find it. But I bought a ticket. I have intention of framing it eventually with some photos from that night from the Undertaker and Mankind match. 98, I'm 6.5. Like, wrestling was the most real thing of all time. I was a big Mankind fan. I was pretty sure he died. Then he got off the stretcher.
A lot of people were.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And then he got off the stretcher, goes back up, gets thrown through. He's dead again. He died twice. I think he actually did have to go to AGH, and like I think he had like a punctured lung and like 4 broke ribs and his tooth coming out of his nose and all that stuff.
Everybody dies twice. When your physical body dies.
And then when people stop talking about you.
And then the last time your name is ever mentioned.
Well, Mankind, Mick Foley, Dude Love, Cactus Jack, I will never stop talking about you. Even though I'm real mad at him in this exact moment.
For leaving WWE?
No, I mean, he's not wrestling anymore. But he's doing the AEW commentary for the pre-show for their next pay-per-view. So it's Renee Paquette and and I guess it's just Mick Foley, it's just himself, are doing the pre-show, and I'm like, you motherfucker. Even though he was in like Japan and stuff, but his WWE run was like not crazy long compared to his actual wrestling career.
Yeah.
But in my head, in my heart, I was a big fan of his in WWE. So WWF at the time. So yeah, those are a couple of big pickups that I wanted to share.
Speaking of one-of-ones, we did have somebody ask a question a while ago. We're just getting to it now. From one of our favorite landscapers that we know.
Okay.
That has glasses
Okay.
as thick as Coke bottles.
Okay.
Is it worth grading a one-of-one?
You can give your opinion. I'll give mine.
I think it's worth it to preserve the card. I don't think a better grade is necessarily going to increase the value that much, because grade, like the price spike that you see in grading is because something is clean versus how many of them are not. This is the only one. There is one and one only. You don't need to separate it from the rest of the market. That is the market.
And I will fight the other side of that and say that I would pay more for a PSA 10 versus like if a 101 was like in 6 condition. I personally would pay a little bit more. Not
I'm not talking like,
yeah, like if you have like, let's say we'll use Gunther in as an example. Like if you had a Gunther Superfractor base that had a ding corner, I'm not going to pay as much for that one than I would a PSA 10 copy. But like I don't know, like a PSA 9 to a 10, I'm probably not, like my mindset on value is not going to change. But like if there was an issue with the card versus in a Gem 10 holder, I would pay more money for the Gem 10 than I would if it did have damage to the card. Yeah. Like I think what you're saying is like grade to grade. Like if it's a 9 or a 10, it shouldn't be different. But I do think if it's like, you know, if it's a patch autograph and the patch window has 2 creases in the patch window, I would not want to pay as much for that card as I would if it was a clean Gem copy.
Yeah.
But I won't. It's not like I'm going to pay $4,000 for a PSA 9 and $10,000 for a PSA 10. I would be like, no, I'd want to pay this number on both.
And also, in my opinion, anything, it depends on like the set, just with some being more condition sensitive. Honestly, if I got anything like an 8 or lower on a modern 1-of-1, I would just want it slabbed authentic.
Yeah, I'm in the process of getting some of my Gunther 1-of-1s graded. I got my 2 white sparkles done. One got an 8, one got a 10. I don't value either of them differently. They're both just like I'm happy with the purchase, and
you should have just asked them if you could have 2 9s instead.
Yeah, with the 10 though.
Make sacrifices.
I appreciate it. Yeah. No, I have 10 more 1-of-1s at PSA right now that they're ones I just wanted encapsulated. I didn't want any possibility of damage, especially because every time I pull the Gunther collection out now, the kids want to come like look, and I'm like,
fuck off.
I don't want to say that. But like in my collector OCD, I'm like, please don't grab this one.
Don't touch.
I'll purposely have a couple cards like real quick that I'll grab. Like, oh, look how cool this one is, and it's like a base, like
or like a sapphire.
Yeah, it's just like something cool, but it's like a $5 card. Because all my cards are just kind of intermingled, like my base with my super, like they're all kind of just in like the same realm, so like I don't want them to grab a
just
card.
Like society should be.
Yeah, it's all.
But it's not.
It's all intermingled. Well, then I should run society.
I don't think that would end very well.
What do you think I would do?
Just everything's on fire.
Why?
Because you forgot.
I think government forgets about us right now.
There's a difference between forgetting and not caring.
See, I care.
Yes.
But
so you forget.
I think people would be really happy. I'd do like one of those gun buybacks, except with that, you'd have to give me all your good cards.
give them.
What? Yeah, like, just give me them and I'll...
Yeah, but they do the gun buybacks to get them off the streets.
Yeah, I want these cards off the streets. I want them in my PC. Bring me all your Gunthers and Sids.
The power's already gone to your head.
Yep, I want all the cards. I don't know, I'm trying to think how you would rule. You have really strong opinions on some stuff.
Yeah.
Where there might be some changes. There may be a revolt if Nate was in charge because he's going to piss off a couple different groups of people, I think, on certain topics.
Although I am going to put my people, Tylenol Americans, in charge of public transport.
Yeah, you guys got to run roads. I'm sure there's some people involved. They're just not up top. They're in the weeds on it. I would make a rule that you have to return your cart at the grocery store. That's a big one. Don't return your cart. You're losing. I don't know what arms, but fingers.
And if you give your cart to somebody else, you have to tell them, I left some gas in it for you.
That is a good one. Do you do the, this is off topic, and if you're still listening, you're just stuck for this, but do you do the whoop whenever you go past someone in the grocery store? Whoop. Scoot right by you.
Sometimes.
I'm a big, and that's a Midwestern thing. That's like a Wisconsin thing, but somehow it's ingrained in me. Whoop, like where you're like scooting past. Just let me scoot right past you.
We had a customer in the store yesterday. Like, she said, "Oh, I'm from Wisconsin."
You're like,
and like we know.
We're aware. What kind of cheeses do you like? You got any curds in the car?
I think she even dropped it. You betcha.
Oh, you betcha. So yeah, she was like totally. She couldn't have been. That's like anytime we go to like Chicago, it's like, oh, you can't tell I'm from like Pittsburgh. Like, yeah, we figured either you're really dumb or you're from like a Rust Belt area where you're talking kind of silly.
Yeah.
Drop you got any pop? And then you're down south, and then it's wrong, and then it isn't like pop like
Coke.
Coke,
which has always driven me crazy.
Let me get a Coke. It's like, yeah, but you want to spray?
Yeah.
Like what are you talking about? You can't do it with brands. I can say pop anywhere. I get like the pop versus soda thing, but like it's never been. Y'all get a Coke. It's like, yeah, but what if like there are different? There's different kinds.
Them Southern boys transcripts ain't right.
They like the red pop down there. It's like a red soda. It's like a red, like a cherry wine. Cheer wine.
Yeah.
It's like a.
I was just thinking, Piggly Wiggly
you got
soda.
Cherry wine and boiled peanuts, which not like the ones Tyler's had in the store where it's canned boiled peanuts, like actual like fresh outside of a market boiled peanuts. A totally different thing. I'm for it.
What if he brings in the boiled peanuts in a can, but he cooks them Goofy movie style, where he takes a cigarette lighter from the car and just puts it on the bottom of the can to heat it up, almost like a hot pad?
He would. One more note. It's Tyler's birthday in a few days. If you're listening to this, whenever, just even if you're listening to 6 months from now, just say happy birthday to him because he doesn't bring attention to it. But back onto him with his canned boiled peanuts. I remember it was last year or the year before. I was gonna try to, because if you're listening and you're in the weeds in the store and like you know us all well, you know Tyler likes to eat some obscure things. I was gonna buy him a canned cheeseburger.
Oh yeah, and they're stupid expensive.
Really, it was like $80 because I think that they're like not in the U.S. or something, and I had to source it in from like Finland, and I'm like, there's no GD way I'm gonna pay $80 for this. If it was $10, it's a total fun gag gift. Like, here, eat this canned burger. But because like he would watch like that guy who eats like the old like military rations and stuff, and I was at that same time I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get him one of those canned cheeseburgers. It's like, no, I'm not, because I gotta pay like import fees and like a $50 shipping fee, and I'm like, all right, I don't care that much anymore.
I will make my own.
I will can and own my own cheeseburger for him.